Hi everyone, Tanya here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video. It is another book haul. And yes, I just recently did a book haul last month, but I have really, if you saw that last video, I've really been on a book. I don't know, I've really gotten back into reading more, and so I'm just so excited to get some more books back into my life. And I think I kind of probably went a little too far, but the good thing is that I found all of these books at the thrift store this time. So literally none of the books I think cost me more than, well, one of them was not from the thrift store, but all the other ones were from the thrift store, and they only cost me about $2, so I'm really excited. So if you want to see some of the new books that I picked up, definitely stay tuned for this video. And if you're new here, I hope that you consider subscribing before you leave. It would really help support my channel, and we're getting close to 1,000 subscribers, so thank you to those of you who have subscribed. And let's get into this book haul. We will start with this first book. This is the one that was not thrifted, but my husband got it for me because he knew I've really been wanting this book, and that is Four Winds by Kristin Hannah. And he got this for me at Costco because the hardcover price, if you can see here, is actually $16.49, which is not bad for hardcover. You know, usually I think they're listed, what is it, $29, and I think at half price books they're $25, so it's still a pretty good price for $16.49. But I'm really excited to get this book. I know you guys probably know it's pretty popular right now. I'm a big Kristin Hannah fan. I did start this book on audio. I borrowed it from the library, but I didn't get to finish it because I have 3 kids, so I don't always have time to stop and listen to the audiobook. And so I had to return it because there was other people waiting, and so I never got to finish it. So I'm excited to have it, my own copy, and it's pretty good so far. I feel like if you are a fan of other Kristin Hannah books, you will like this one. I like that her books span kind of like generations in time. I find that really interesting, and that's one of the favorite things that I like about her other books. And so I'm really excited to have this in my collection and really excited to read it. I'm hoping to read it in May, so we'll see if I get to it. I tend to skip around with my books, but I'm excited to definitely have this. And also, as usual, if any of these books you have read, please comment down below. I'd love to hear your feedback. Like, did you like it? Did you hate it? What are your thoughts on it? Because I love being able to hear from you guys or hearing your opinions. So definitely comment down below. Right, on this whole Kristin Hannah adventure, because I'm on this kind of mini quest, I guess, to get a lot of books from her, and I really, like I said, enjoy a lot of her books. Now this is one I had not heard about, and it's called If You Believe. And I found this, I'd never, and I don't know, I think this is a romance book, and I don't know if this was like from when she was first starting to write or what. Like, I had never heard about this. Maybe someone else, maybe I'm just missing out, I don't know, but this was totally new to me, and so I picked this up. I think, like it says, it's a romance, I believe. There's this woman, Maria, I'm not sure, and she just kind of wanted to get away, and then there's Mad Dog Stone. It says he's a drifter looking for a few days' work, and they kind of, you know, their lives clash, and, you know, things ensue, and there's true love. So I'm excited to hear it again. Glad to have that. Here's the last Kristin Hannah book, and this one is The Nightingale. Now, I have read this before. If you watched my last book haul, you know that The Nightingale is one of my favorite books. I read it years ago, a few years ago now that it's come out, and I really, really love that book. I cried. It was so good, and I knew that I wanted to have it in my collection. This was interesting because I had never seen this paperback copy, and I just, again, happened upon it at the thrift store, and I was like, wow, I almost like skimmed right past it, and I was like, wait, what? It's a totally different cover, and I kind of really like it, actually. And so, again, excited to just have this collection. I kind of have been wanting to reread it again because I just remember loving it, and so I want to try reading it again. All right, the next book that I got, again, this one is not, I hadn't heard of it, but I just came across it at the store, and I was like, this just sounds interesting. It is called The Book Charmer. And if you are, I don't know, if you're at all anything like me, I love reading like books or watching movies about books, right? So things about like bookstores, bookshops, booksellers, I don't know, stuff about books is interesting to me. So a book about a book charmer just sounded interesting. And so this is a story about, it said Sarah Dove, and she is a bookworm, but supposedly she can kind of like hear books and see like hear things that they're telling her. And so this is like her gift, and she's in this little town, I think it's at, yeah, North Carolina. And so there's this, there's somebody coming in, there's this other girl that comes to their town, and so I don't know, there's something going on there where Grace is supposed to be the new girl who comes, like she's supposed to be someone in the town, like destined for something, but she's resisting it. But yeah, it's kind of like that whole, it's got like a little bit of kind of like magic and books, but also like small town kind of situation. It's kind of an interesting story. It just sounded different to me. So again, if you have read this, let me know, because I've never heard anything about it. So I'm excited to give this one a go. This is one that I had this in my cart on my books outlet, like cart online, and I saw it at the store and I was like, sweet, for $2 I'm gonna get it. And it is Beautiful Runes, and this, I don't know, again, this just sounded interesting to me. Also, I just love the cover too. But it just talked about how it's starts off in Italy near the coast in 1962, and there's this young innkeeper. Also, anything with inns seems to be interesting to me. But there's this innkeeper, and there's this woman that like appears on a boat, and just from there, it really doesn't tell you too much, but that's kind of the story. So, and it says it's one of the 100 notable books on New York Times book review. I don't know, again, if you read it, let me know, but I just liked it because it seemed interesting. Again, kind of maybe like a love story, but also history, and I love things like, you know, different setting around the world. So yeah, excited to have that one. And going along with the whole liking things about books, I found this one. It's called The Little Paris Bookshop, and this one is about, I thought this also just sounded really interesting. It's about Monsieur Perdue, and he is like, what does he have? He has a floating bookstore, which I thought was so cool. He has a floating bookstore, and he goes and he basically knows like the perfect novel for each person, right? Whatever they need in their life, he's like, I got you, and he has the perfect book for them. But yet he can heal like other people's heartbreak, but he has never healed from his own, because of his, like, his great love disappeared and left him a letter, but he has never read the letter. So then finally he reads this long, you know, this letter that he has refused to read for years, and now he's like, I need to go on this mission, this quest, to figure out, you know, like the love, like the end of the story of his love story, or what's going on, I don't know. So I'm just like, I feel like it's a lot of intrigue. Again, it's about books, it's, you know, like takes place in France, and just this whole, like, there's this love story, we don't know what's happening, there's this letter, and it just seemed really interesting to me too. So I'm hoping it'll be a good read. Next one that I got is one that I've been wanting to have, and this is a pretty used copy, but again, I didn't mind too much. And I've read this, or I started reading it a while back, but I never finished it. I've seen the movie adaptation of this, and it is The Book Thief. Now I know this is definitely kind of more of a serious book, but I know it's also really good from what I remember starting it. And so I'm excited to actually be able to like have it and finish it all the way through, because I don't really remember it in my head, like, because I don't think I got to finish it. So I don't exactly like, you know, the emotion and the details behind it. So I want to be able to start it and actually finish it, and how I feel about it, you know? So excited to have this one again. And yeah, I mean, I always hear really good things about it. I know, and again, I feel like the movie was a while ago too, because I don't even really remember the movie. But excited to have found this one. Now this next one, I have been getting more, trying to get to more just different genres. Last book haul, you know, I got some fantasy books, which is different for me, because again, I'm more of historical fiction. And this one is more of like a thriller, and I know this has been popular, but I'm just getting around to it, and it is Gone Girl. And so I saw it and I was like, I'm going to give it a go. I've heard a lot of things about it, but basically the premise of it is that there's Nick and Amy, it's their 5th wedding anniversary, and things, you know, seem to be going well. But then the day, I think the day is it of, the wife disappears. And so I think they're, you know, figuring out, like, did the husband kill her, or what exactly is going on. But I'm gonna give it a go. Again, I've heard a lot of good things about this. I know in my last video, one of you had commented, one of my viewers, that I should try The Silent Patient. I think it was Katie who had commented. So I'm hoping to read that one or get a copy of it next, because I'm not normally a thriller person. I am kind of a big baby when it comes to like thrillers or anything slightly like psychological or scary, because I tend to get nightmares. I am basically a big baby pretty much, but I'm going to try it out, and because I do really get into it. I think the few times I have read thrillers, It's just like my imagination is too vivid and I freak myself out. But I think that's part of the fun of the reading, right? So I'm gonna try to hopefully get that one next, but for right now I'm gonna try this one. This next one was also on my list of books that I wanted to buy and wanted to read, and it is The Hate U Give. Now this one, it doesn't have the cover, but I didn't mind so much, you know, I just wanted to read. I mean, I would have liked the one with the sleeve, but it's all right. I just wanted to read the story anyway. So, and again, the same thing happened. I got it on Audible or on audio from Libby from my library, but I didn't get to finish it in time, so I didn't get to finish the story. So I'm excited to read it, and I obviously heard a lot of great things in the past. Is a couple, no, 2 years or 1 year that it's been out. So I don't remember how long it's been out, but I've heard a lot of good things since this book has been out, so I'm excited to read it for myself and finally be able to finish the story. And the last two books, if you saw, again, on my last video, I talk about wanting to really get into Agatha Christie. I recently read one of her books, and I'm reading another one right now from the library. So I've been trying to, whenever I go to the thrift store or bookstore, see if I can slowly collect the Agatha Christie books. And so I came across two that I found at the thrift store. And so the first one that I found was And Then There Were None. And so basically it says that there are 10 strangers lured to an isolated island mansion. And so they're by a mysterious UN Owen. At dinner, a recorded message accuses each of them in turn of having a guilty secret. And by the end of the night, one of the guests is dead. Stranded by a violent storm, haunted by a nursery rhyme, counting down one by one, they begin to die. Like, oh, it was scary, you guys. Oh. Who among them is the killer, and will any of them survive? Oh, that sounds so good, but it's also like a thriller. I'm kind of like, oh, but I'm excited for that one. Like, oh, that sounds really intense. Ah, okay. And then the other Agatha Christie that I found was Death on the Nile. This was also in my cart on Book Outlet, and this one is a Hercule Poirot. I can never say it correctly, I feel like, but it's one of the Hercule Poirot mysteries, and I do want to read them in order, but if I do come across them at thrift store, I try to pick them up, because eventually I do want to have them all. So this one, I think there's obviously a crime in Egypt. I think it is on the Nile. Yeah, there's a discovery that Linnea Ridgway had been shot through the head. She was young, stylish, and beautiful, a girl who had everything until she lost her life. And so there's obviously that mystery and trying to solve it. So yeah, I'm excited to have this one as well. But that is everything for my book haul this month. And if you'd like to see, I probably will be doing these monthly or so, or every couple months, depending how often I am buying books. I want to definitely read through some more of these. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you are all doing well, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone.